Good evening everybody and welcome to Inside Line Racing, the Xbox tier for ILR3. This is round number 4 and tonight we are going to Baku here in Azerbaijan, and for what we've seen on the other tiers, we wish good luck to the drivers to see if they can avoid any carnage. I am now back after a break week from me last week. Hello, I am Jess, and joining me in the commentary box again and did a great job as solo commentary last week, it is Jack. Hello.
Hello. I have a feeling we could be seeing some mega binnings today, to be honest.
Yes, unfortunately, low turnout tonight, but still, I think we should see some good racing, I think. So we're keeping our fingers crossed tonight to see if they can bring it out. So it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So I'm praying that at least most of these people do finish today. So should be really fun for these guys, and it's dry qualifying. We don't know what it's going to be like in a race, but it does depend on what tyres they go on, which gives us a clue of what it's going to be. They won't tell us, unfortunately, what the weather's like, but already looking pretty nice for this Grand Prix, Jack.
Yeah, as you said a minute ago, the tyres in qualifying, because there's so many straight lines, the tyres don't really matter all that much. You can still get pretty quick times out of the super soft tyres and do a one-stop, which I've seen a lot of people do in the past. So you're going to probably see quite a few differences in tyres in qualifying, and a lot of different times as well.
Yes, but people sometimes go for the most very weird strategies, which I don't recommend any of these guys do. There was one person that was on the super softs for about 17-18 laps, but then he retired due to a puncture. So if these guys are watching any of the streams yesterday, they now know not to push these super softs to the limit that much, otherwise they will get a puncture. So but I think it looks like most people are on the ultra softs apart from ADOS and Easy Fusion and Steerage. Fusion and ADOS is on the set of super softs, with Steerage on the set of softs. So a bit of mixture of strategy. I expect Steerage is going to probably try and go for one stop, because I think the super softs can go for probably about the same as the super softs, but a bit more. You'll probably get more grips, about 18-19 laps. So Steerage definitely a one stop. Oh, we got someone that's just fallen in the castle section. I think it was Phoenix. I'm not in, yeah, it was Phoenix.
Frank. It was our Frank.
Oh, it's Frank. It was Frank and Phoenix, I think. And
yeah,
he's lost his front wing.
He actually, yeah, sorry. He actually ruined Cal's lap in the process. He was so close to bidding it into Frank and ruining both their qualifyings. I flinched in my seat when he went past. I didn't even know there was enough room for two cars to get through there. That was scary, that was.
I hope that doesn't happen in the race, please, because otherwise we could see some calamities happen. I think a few people have gone to the pits already due to that. A pole time, we could expect, well, I don't know, because on the PS4 yesterday when I was commentating ILR3, it was overcast conditions, and the highest pole time was 1:38, and we're already seeing 1:38 already from Steerage. So, but I've seen people set 1:37s, 1:36s in these types of conditions, so we could be expecting those times with these drivers, but we'll have to wait and see. Atlantis is not that far behind on a set of ultras. Steerage on a set of soft setting that time, which is pretty good for a set of soft tyres, but it's only a set of bank collapse at the moment, so we will have to wait and see. He probably could go fast on the super soft, so maybe he could go on that, or maybe he wants to go on a set of softs. I don't know, but Thunder decided not to take further part in qualifying, so he will join the back of the grid. And we do have a few people in the chat. Dragon Pro's in the chat, Ireland's in the chat as well, so good to have you on board as well. So I think we do have a few reserves tonight that are filling in for people that can't make it. Fusion is coming in all the way from Texas because he's watching the Grand Prix this weekend, and he's using his brother's Xbox. So dedication, that is amazing. That just shows how much he wants to do well in this league.
Yeah, I was looking at trying to find out where Dun Thunder actually binned it. It's actually at a place a lot of people bin it. It was actually at turn 3. He just locked up both fronts and went clean into the wall. So he's probably going to start from plumb last now.
Yeah.
But one upside is he's going to get free choice tyres, so he can't really complain all that much.
No, so that is a good thing, and he didn't use the ultra soft spray much, so you could go on a set of ultras and then go on to do a 2-stop and maybe do a faster lap, but we shall see. It'll be up to Thunder. But if I was Thunder, I'll probably go on a set of super softs or softs to do the 1-stop. I think Atlantis has already gone as well, so 2 people are gone. I think Frank is going to set another out lap. So I
think he might have binned it in the fast section in the last corner, because I'm not seeing his car, but I'm seeing loads of debris. So they obviously ghosted his car and got his car out of the way very quickly. Probably quite nicely as well, because we don't want a car to be stranded there, of all places, in the corners where they're all blind, and you probably go the best part 160, 70, 80 miles an hour. As Zillion gets very close to the wall in the castle section. Again, we've seen a lot of people doing that, and hopefully no one else bins it there, because that incident with Cal, and I think it was our Frank earlier, was a bit too close to call, to be honest.
It was. Castle section is where people can get caught out a lot. It is very, very tricky corners. But I think Baku's probably a bit easier than Monaco. A lot of overtaking, but they get a little bit too more aggressive. That's why Baku is one of the most hardest tracks on the calendar, and some of these drivers do despise it. So it'll probably be a miracle if some of these drivers do finish tonight. Even finishing this Baku race will be an achievement, I think. But I think some people would want to go and win. Atlantis retired, I think it was due to tyre temperature. So he got his tyres a bit too hot. So it is quite hot here in Baku today, so it's not really a surprise. Maybe he did press the throttle a little bit too much, and that's what's caused him to have his tyres too hot. And he was on a set of ultra softs, don't forget, so that was probably why. But so far, Steerage still setting the pace with 10 minutes to go.
And on soft tyres, so he's obviously put an absolute belter of a lap in on those soft tyres. Obviously they're not heating up as much because they're soft tyres. But a lot of the reason people are spinning out is because a lot of players, most of the time, they go to time trial and they get these world record setups which have a high ballast. And because temperatures and wear don't really affect anything in time trial, you can have the high ballast, it's fine. But some people forget to change it for the race, and that's so bad because it can overheat tyres so much, particularly when they're going through things like Sector 3. And so many people bin it there if they keep the ballast, especially at the last corner. So you've got to watch out for cars binning it there. That's a huge hotspot for cars just spinning round, even though they've got the throttle all the way down to the floor. I'm seeing loads of yellows in Sector 2, so I'm guessing
that is definitely Castle. I think.
Gone and smacked it into the castle again.
It's what it is. Now, from what I've heard from one of the drivers, if the race is going to be interesting, let's put it that way. Because you will expect to see a lot of carnage, but they'll be trying to avoid it even more due to what I've seen in chat. It is not going to be like it is today in qualifying. We're going to see drops of water in the sky. It is going to rain. So that should be interesting. I don't know how these drivers are going to cope. I think it's going to be intermediate conditions if I'm wrong, but I'm not entirely sure. But
hopefully it's not at the start, because then we might not get no finishes at all.
I think let me just check. I think they said light rain, heavy rain, then light again. So luckily it's not going to be heavy for the race.
Wet race, and as AJH is currently trying to replicate that scene from the Austin Powers movie with the 1,000,000-point turn as he's stuck in one of the off-roads.
Yeah.
And he's reversing back out. Hopefully he looked first, make sure there was no one coming out. I think he did. That's why it took him ages to come back out.
Yeah, that is odd, I think. But to be honest, due to the fact that it's going to be a dry qualifying and wet race, what tyres they're qualifying doesn't really matter. So that's why we're seeing a lot of people on the ultras, because it doesn't matter if you qualify on the ultra. If you qualify on the ultras, it doesn't matter anyway because you'll probably go on a set of intermediates for the start of the race. So now we know what the weather's going to be like. If people don't qualify on the ultras, then they're not going to get a good lap time in. Maybe set a few banker laps on the soft tyres or super softs, but set your final lap on the ultras just to get a good lap in. So that's why we've probably seen fastest times in the qualifying. But when it gets to the race, then this could be interesting. My personal best for this track is non-existent. I always retire in Baku, so that someone was asking in the chat what my personal best in Baku was. I never finish around Baku, and it's always a miracle if I finish around Baku. I wonder what these drivers will be thinking if they ever finish around Baku, but we will have to wait and see. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for that one. But Ados setting the benchmark already. I do see a bit of something flowing on the floor, but I wonder what happened. There was a yellow flag, but it might have just been someone going on with their in lap at the moment. And yeah, we got a few people now. That's Fusion. We got Leaper on their out laps as well. Fusion and Rampage still on the set of supers. That is interesting.
That's close. I'm seeing Zillion struggle at the moment in traffic. He's getting held up by packs of traffic. His ADOS sets the fastest lap by 4/10.
Wow.
He actually had to get let past then through the castle, almost at the castle section. He had to take the widest line I've seen anyone take through the castle section on fast lap, because I think a Force India of SRL Rampage got in the way, and he's actually carrying on his lap at the moment, so obviously he didn't lose too much time. He held him up a bit too much for his own good.
Yeah, he's not looking too bad at the moment. I've just got the lap data for you guys. As he's got across the note, he's going into the pits and he spinned it in the pits. Well, he didn't retire in the pits, thank goodness, but hey ho. So now we got yellow flag in set to 1 and set to 3. These drivers have got to be careful, I got to say. They are taking it a bit too aggressively, some of these drivers. Approaching some of the corners.
Steerage now coming down the main straight. I think he might set the fastest lap, and he does by
1:37.
He set a lap on ultras because he obviously has seen the weather for the race, and he's just thought, sod it, I'm not throwing my strategy that I had in my mind out the window, and he's just gone for it on the ultra softs and beaten anyone else by almost 0.6 of a second. That is some lap.
That is absolutely astonishing on a set of these ultra soft tyres. We could see faster lap times as the track starts to grip up with a few more drivers being on it and stuff like that. So could we see people go on the 1:36 on the ultras? We don't know, but this might be tier 1 territory, but you never know. There may be people that like Baku and can go faster in Baku, but we shall see. As Zillion and AJH are the only ones not to set a time. The top 6 are covered by 1/2 of a second. But I think we got Fusion, Leaper and R Frank on the 140. So, but don't forget, some of them do use assists. And if they do have like traction control on or something like that, this can really make your lap very slow, or auto gears. So I think we can probably see who's running most of the assists and who's not by the times they're setting in Baku, I think. I think the ones lower down the field, such as the bottom 3, are probably using assists, but I'm not entirely sure. So, but it is a friendly league. We are mixed ability, so we shall have to wait and see for that.
At the moment, I'm not quite sure what Steerage is doing, but he's going about 50 miles an hour on the racing line at the end of Sector 2. Hopefully he doesn't get in anyone's way. If he's going to stay at that pace, he's going to have to try and get out of the way of the racing line, because he's going to hold up a lot of people if he stays at that pace in those lines.
He is. Is he running out? Let me just check his territory a little bit, because he might. No, he's not running. Oh, he is running out of fuel. So he's running. He's still in 7th gear. But he can't go fast. So yeah, he is definitely run out of fuel, I think. So you've got a red fuel limiter showing there. That is why. So
if he gets back to the pits now, he might be able to get one more lap in, and that is a big might.
Big 100%
obviously because
might.
of loads of variables like traffic, and if he pins it on the outlap, which isn't I know Steerage is probably an experienced enough driver, he won't do that, but I've seen it so long in the past. It's possible for anyone to do it. I've done it past, so no, it's completely possible.
Oh, and Rampage is gone. I think I just saw the Sauber. Oh no, that was our Frank that just retired. But I did see a Sauber of our Frank just spin it. But I don't know what's happened to Rampage. I don't know where he's gone. But if we still got, pretty much we've got, I think, 8 drivers still battling for pole. So not a lot. But I think Cal's going to set a lap time. Steerage is still in the pits.
Oh wow, AJH, second place.
That is pretty good stuff. I think he decided that he knew what the weather was like and go on and serve up fresh ultras. So that was a good call for him. I don't think Easy Fusion's going to get pole. Maybe he didn't check the weather before this qualifying. Because I think everyone else did. I don't think he has. Because otherwise he wouldn't be on a set of supers right now. So maybe he's probably made a bit of a mistake. Yeah. We shall see. I'm not going on board.
See, an average,
I'm not going on board with these drivers, to be honest, because I can't hear the sound at the moment due to the fact it will echo otherwise. And I'm scared it's going to give some rev glitches, so... No, I don't think he's got rev glitches.
My rev glitches seem to be alright at the moment. I've had a couple of them, but they've disappeared.
Yeah, because they go in and out of the pits.
I've only got one at the moment, and that's with Steerage.
Yes.
And I've just seen Zillion Average is not going to get a lap in.
He's not. He's not going to get it in time.
He hasn't set one yet, and there's only 50 seconds left on the clock, so that's a huge mistake from the Merc.
And Leaper's retired as well.
From last week.
So, what were the standings last week? Because I wasn't here. I think some of you might have missed the stream as well. So,
I can remember the podium finishers was Tom 123. He won from last. An extraordinary race from him. Because of one stop OP. I think it was Zillion Average in second place and APS Steerage in third. And Steerage had pole, I'm pretty sure.
Steerage is basically a pole man altogether.
Yeah.
Pretty much, but I think Ados is on a fast lap. He's on hot lap mode. Yeah, Steerage is not going to make it. He didn't make it. So, I think Ados is the only person that can beat his time. He's just starting sector 2 at the moment. Oh, we clipped the corner a little bit. That's probably costing him a little bit. But looks like...
Yeah, I actually saw him. He went really deep into the castle section, so I'm not sure if he lost a couple of tenths there. He almost hit the wall. The curb was the only thing that stopped him from clattering into it, to be honest. He had just a bit too much speed.
I didn't see if his time improved or not, because it didn't tell us. But I'm guessing it didn't get worse. It looks like he's okay. But he's about to cross the line. He's got DRS open. Can he beat the pole time of 8? Oh, he's second. Wait a minute.
So he reclaimed that second place from AJH. Good effort.
Good effort. Is anyone else on a lap that could... No. The only ones on a lap is Dark Phoenix. But no, he is already going slow. I think he might be running out of battery because he was only running in battery mode 3 then for a second. And he's on a 146.
He's still going to try and get it because he's getting the slipstream from the car in front.
No, it's 115 at the moment. He's not going to beat... No, he's not. So, our pole man for a second week in a row is Steerage again. But he's got to avoid the calamities of turn 1, I've got to say. As well as most of these drivers. So, here we go. Here's our standings. We've got Steerage in at P1 with a 137.8. Ados not that far behind in second with AJH in third. Cal in fourth. Atlantis in fifth. Dark Phoenix in 6th. We've got Easy Fusion in 7th. Leaper Affinity in 8th. Rampage in 9th. And rounding up your top 10. And we've got Dome Thunder and Zillion rounding up the rest of the field. But Steerage has got to be careful on this one to make sure he stays on pole. But I think he could do it. He's one of these guys that keep it clean at times. So, touch wood. They should all make it clean during turn
getting
one.
the start is going to be so crucial in the rain. What I do normally is, as soon as I pull away, pull in gear, because obviously you've got a lot more torque in first gear. There's more room to make there's less room to make a mistake.
Yes.
Shorter gear ratios, it's easier to spin up the tyres. So it's just logical to shift straight up into second to get a better getaway and a less wheel spinny getaway, so your tyres don't overheat.
Exactly. So, and as you can see, it is raining. It's not raining that hard at the moment, but the clouds are getting darker, so we could expect to see heavier rain. So I don't think we can see a one stop, because they will need to decide when's the best time for full wets, when's the best time for intermediates again. They got to play it safe. They got to make sure that they know what they're doing. They got to make sure they do it. And I think we're going for the formation lap at the moment. So there's a chance to warm up their set of intermediates. I usually go through the set of tyres they've chosen for today's race, but everyone's on the same tyres, so I can't really do that. Yeah, everyone's on the set of intermediates, so I can't go through the tyres because everyone's on the same tyres. But if anyone was on the set of ultras, they were disqualified. Oh, we got Rampage.
That was quick.
And Levo as well. The two usual casualties of the formation lap are pretty much gone. Just saying, so.
Yeah. What all these drivers need to remember, that all of the braking zones that they've dialed themselves into in qualifying have all almost completely gone out the window.
Double.
So they need to probably brake 50 metres before the 150 board into turn one, because that braking zone in the wet is going to become so long, and the opportunities to lock a brake or snatch a brake is just unbelievable. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite a few drivers going into the backs of others, or just going straight on completely.
Yes, and I think they just got to be aware a bit more, brake a bit sooner than they usually do. Don't floor it into turn one, because otherwise that is where we can see the carnage happen. And looks like, I think, from seeing the other tiers, looks like we're the only tier that is raining in the race. Everyone else got a dry race, so this should be interesting for the drivers, I've got to say. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Hopefully no more drivers get disqualified. Have a bit
Don't
of a good
jinx
omen,
it. And just fortunate now, there'll probably be another one to get disqualified now.
Yeah. I don't know why APS steerage has just cleared off from the pack so quickly.
There's someone last time yesterday that was pulling up for the formation lap massively, and I couldn't really understand, to be honest. So that is a bit odd.
Right, here we go then.
So I need to change my invites to invite only on the bars here, I think. I don't know how I do that. I can't remember. There we go. I made it invite only. There's a few people starting to make their way onto the grid. I think everyone's at the grid, so I don't understand. Oh yes, there we go. So yellow flag is set to 3. I don't know what glitched there, but anyway, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And here we go for the Baku, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And steerage just got away cleanly into turn 1. No contact from steerage, which is good. Didn't make it all into... Surprisingly, they all make it through fine in turn 1. That is the most cleanest start I've ever seen in a Baku race. So, props to these guys for keeping it clean. Well done. But I think we could see something going on for P6. 4 wide going into turn 2 and 3. As we got a Renault.
Oh.
Fusion has gone. He's out. And I think the Haas is losing out as well. I think it's Leaper. And I think Frank was losing a bit of time as well. I jinxed it. What?
Yeah, on average, making a great start there. He's already up into P7, so he's made up 5 places at the start. And what happened to the Haas was he actually got balked by the Williams not ghosting, so he had to wait for it to ghost and then go past. He was stopped for about 5 seconds. And Zillion Average now finally gets the best of Eidos Gamer, who's actually had a terrible start. He's gone down 6 places.
What has happened?
And there's also rotten luck for Fusion, because he had a Easy Fusion actually had a first lap incident in China as well. He got spun round on the start, and I think he was on the second row as Dun Thunder now gets past Eidos Gamer, who was massive front wing damage, and he's binned it.
Oh, so another retirement. So, by the looks of things, everyone that's racing, if you're still racing, if you at least finish, you can get points. So, that's motivation to finish pretty much. As I do see someone weaving all over the place. I'm a bit worried about this person. Oh, we got a virtual safety car. I'm not really surprised, to be honest, but I don't know what happened to cause it. I think it's probably due to the Haas driver, who's going very slowly. Oh, no, that's because of the virtual safety car. My bad. But I think, I didn't know what happened there, but I think the guys will start to bunch a little bit more as they go towards, but that will make the castle section very interesting indeed. But I think the top 3 are coping alright. Steerage, AJH and Cal are doing very well to try to stay out of trouble. So they must know the track very well to do it, which is quite good. Excuse me.
As 2 people pit under the safety car of
that is a good move.
Affinity, both for front wings, so they obviously making the most of this opportunity and just fixing their cars while everyone is at a slow pace, as now we get back to racing again.
Yes, so they make all
ABS
this
steerage is going to have to get as much gap as possible before that main straight, as the slipstream effect on this game is unbelievable, and as AJ can actually go straight on and breaks his front wing.
Oh, that's close.
I think almost goes into the back of him. He's going to be really careful not to go into the back of the Zauber through the castle section. And then hopefully he can pass him near enough before he gets to the next corner, as AJ is going to be understeering like mad, especially because he's in the wet as well.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is a Zauber in front. My bad of AJ and Zauber. Cal is trying to close up as well. We got the Ferrari of Dark Phoenix catching up as well, but he is learning to leave some space, I think. But let me just let's see so I can see. No rev glitch, that's all good. But I think he's losing a bit of pace at the moment. Cal is slowing down. He's holding up him a little bit. That could cause some issues. I'm a bit worried about what's going to happen, but they are keeping it together, which is very nice.
3 wide down the main straight.
Whoa!
Cal making the most of that opportunity and doing a double overtake.
AJ has gone into the pits. That was probably due to his front rear wing or front wing damage. I'm not entirely sure.
Front wing.
Front wing. So that means Cal's gone up into second. And he's doing not too bad, but we've got Dark Phoenix catching up like a hawk at the moment. And we've got his teammate Atlantis not that far behind either. Rampage as well catching, and Zillion. So pretty much we've got a 4 or 5 way battle for second right now. So even though we only got a few drivers racing at the moment, this is quality right now.
Wow! Dark Phoenix gets very close to the back of the McLaren there. I wouldn't actually be surprised if a few decent issues maybe caused a bit of contact there, as Cal got very squirrely on the exit.
They are very close.
Braking so much later than the McLaren. I'm not sure if he's running ABS or not, but I'm quite certain I'm gonna see a dive bomb soon from the Ferrari if he doesn't bottle it the next few corners, which with the amount of people that have done so far, sort of 5 drivers, it's a possibility.
It is a possibility that they can bottle it, and it's a possibility they may not, but they got to see how long they can stretch these tyres on these inters, because obviously they haven't done much wet practice by the looks of things. But that's the beauty of dynamic weather. You never know what the weather's going to be like until the actual day. So, we are having issues with the... Nope, I think Eidos has left. That is probably right. But it seems like he's okay at the moment.
I think they fixed most of the host leaving issues in this game, so I think he still should be good. Nothing's glitching so far.
At least Cody's has fixed one thing in the game. Oh my word!
That was a huge moment for Atlantis. I think it actually really balked the Mercedes there of Zillion.
And the Renault's out.
Fastest car on track up until that point. And now Phoenix, I told you Ocon was coming. He makes a move on the McLaren as he brakes just so much later than anyone else at the moment.
Yeah.
He's now going to try and close that 9-second gap Steery just made up as a result of all the battling. But Atlantis, he's been having moments for ages before this point, as Dun Thunder now bins it as well. It was actually at the same place Atlantis had his moment. So, as I was saying in qualifying, that ballast is having huge repercussions on people that have their ballast directed towards the rears. They're just oversteering absolutely everywhere.
That is absolutely crazy right now at the moment. Oh, I did see someone again bottle it. This is getting tricky. Oh, I just got an invite to a lobby. I think we're restarting, Jack.
Are we?
I'm not entirely sure.
I think rain might be a bit too much for these guys to handle at the moment. This is incidents aplenty.
Yeah, we are restarting, guys. But I think none of these guys do know. Some of these guys do know. So if I lead the session, then that will give them a clue. And you just left as well. So if I lead, then they'll all know, oh, it's a restart. So yeah, I think because there was a lot of carnage.
If we carried on then, we might have not had any more races by lap 10. If that had carried on at that rate. Yeah,
I think at least they're doing what's right and causing less issues by doing that. But that means we could see different weather again. We could see a dry race. And we could see strategy come into play.
Even though it only lasted 5 laps, it was quite entertaining.
It was.
I will admit.
It was very entertaining, I gotta say. But I am a bit worried that they could have a few more issues, but we are keeping our fingers crossed we could see some entertaining racing. But that's, I think, allowing other people to also have a second chance of racing as well. But we'll just have to wait until most of these guys go in the lobby, I guess, because I think there's some people that are still racing and didn't get the message. But hopefully they got the message since both of us have left.
Yeah.
So if you're, maybe they're watching the stream. So
I know when I raced around Baku in a league race not too long ago, it was dry, and because we were already so far through the race and there were so little finishes, we're just going to do a restart another day. So even with 20 people, and even if it's dry, you're still going to have to, you still could see restarts at Baku. It's just that much of a dangerous track.
It is. Steerage is not happy for a restart, to be honest. I think some of them were doing alright, but I think a majority of people were having issues, which is, I think, that's what causes for a restart. Because I think if a restart hasn't happened, then it would have caused some problems. A lot of people in the chat asking why there's restarts on our Twitter chat. But we shall see what happens. And they need to change it to Baku. But I think this will allow Fusion, I think, to get a move. Get another chance, maybe. We shall see. I don't know how it's going to work. I think it might be grid editor. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think that's what they normally do.
Yeah. So... and it looks like it's going to be raining again. I think they're going to set it.
You set it to rain.
Yeah, I think they're trying to keep it consistent.
Weather custom, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to keep it consistent. If it was raining before the restart, it's going to rain here as well.
It was light rain, hard rain, light rain, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know if they can set more than one. I don't think. So it might just be light rain for the whole race.
Unless they just go light rain, hard rain, which I think would be.
It is possible.
Would be more entertaining. I'll give it that.
So we are just waiting for people who were in the lobby before to join. So we would like to apologise for the delay at the moment. I think Jack, if you got the stream open, I think screenshot the quali results.
Yeah, I can do that. Hang on. Where's it in quali? Let me find it. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I think this will be the only restart they have. I think once that's done, it's done. Really. Not everybody's here yet. We're waiting for 2 more drivers. So.
Right, they should have it now. I've put the quali results in.
Yeah, there we go. So hopefully that should be sorted soon. A few people in the chat saying retired cars are not allowed to restart, but that's the whole point of a restart.
Yeah. Right, while waiting, I'm just going to watch a bit of FP2. I'm going to stay here, obviously, but I'm going to watch it on my phone.
I think we're going to take, what we're going to do is while we wait for people to join, I'm going to leave you I'm just going to play some music for a bit. And then once everyone has joined, and once the lobby's out the way, we can get going. Don't blame us about what's going on right now. We don't make the call. We as commentators don't make the call. We just do what we're told to do, basically. If there's a restart, there's a restart. So I'll just sort the grid and I think we'll be ready. So we'll see you in a bit. And we are underway again. Hello guys, welcome back to the restart of the Baku Grand Prix. If you just joined us, we are starting the race again. I am Jess, and joining me again will be Jack. So,
yeah, hopefully we get a few more runners this time.
Hopefully a few more finishers this time. And you know, well, hopefully we'll get, you know, some interesting races going on. But I think due to the restart, I think what the admins have chosen to do is they've chosen to keep the weather the same, to keep it fair. But I think it's just going to be light rain the whole race. It's not going to be light, wet, light, heavy, light. It's going to be light rain. So they'll only have to worry about the intermediate tyres. And I think no formation lap. We are just going to get underway here in Baku. And we are underway again. And I think Steerage got a better start this. Yes, he's got a much better start this time going into turn 1. We got 3 wide going into turn 1 already. Oh, we've seen carnage already. No, he didn't. That's all right.
I don't actually think he hit anything. I think he just went wide. I think his car's still fine, the Sauber.
Oh, thank God for that. So already, people making it clean into turn 1. A few spins, but no damage. But I think ADOS has gained quite a lot. So, and then I think ADOS is was trying to defend that, trying to make the move. There was almost a bit of contact with AJH, but luckily they were fine going into turn 1. Let's see what's going on in the back of the field. We've got 3 wide here with Phoenix, Fusion, Cal. And we've got Rampage as well, fighting as well.
Atlantis and AJH actually going side by side into corner 4. The castle section still going side by side. Hopefully they break apart before they go through the castle, because that's a very stupid move, and yes they do. Sauber ahead of Ferrari, and Ferrari gets very close to the wall through the castle section.
Yes, and that is quite interesting that there hasn't been much issues at the moment, but I'm not going to jinx anything. So by the start, towards the end of that 1, all of them going through unscathed. So I think they've learnt their lesson from the restart. That usually happens. And there's McLaren of and the Sauber as well.
Oh, and it's caused a pile up at the same time. Thank God, Ghost.
I jinxed it again.
Damage.
What is going on with me today? This time it's Cal.
I'm not sure who's got damage. I see Zillion's got some damage to his front wing. Cal's got a lot of damage to his front wing, I'm pretty sure.
Not a lot. I don't see a lot of damage. She looks fine on my end. I think it might be just his rear wing. I'm not entirely sure. But
Frank gets it all wrong coming out the exit of the fast section and just gifts the position to Dun Thunder. I'm wondering if he's going to try and dive back into the slipstream. Zillion is actually catching up to them, but there's not much point. Is he going to have to dive into the pits?
Yeah,
and Frank does as well.
And Cal as well. Everyone
is going to bin it in the pit lane.
Oh, he's out. That restart didn't work out for him.
Carry on.
I had to jump out the pits because otherwise I would have got a rev glitch. But AJH, I think, made his way past ADOS there. But Steerage is already dominating by 6 seconds. So I think a lot of people in this chat will be happy that...
I think he actually got a better start this time than he did in his first attempt.
Yes, he did. He definitely got a better start.
Yeah, that's more of a result of people being a lot more cautious and giving everyone else a lot more space. Zillion actually comes... Frank goes straight on out the pits and just gifts the position to Zillion average. I thought we'd see a lot of that because no one knows where any of the braking zones are.
Exactly, especially in these wet type of conditions, I've got to say, for Frank. He is messed up, but luckily he's all right. But I think Atlantis is going to see if he can try and make a move on ADOS. But ADOS is pulling away like a car bonnet at the moment. He's catching up to ADOS. ADOS are the ones also benefiting from that restart.
Not the best place to dive down the inside. Not the best place at all. There's only just enough room for 1 car, let alone 2. And you see Atlantis is actually going a bit very conservative with his battery and his gears at the moment, because we saw in the last race he was having insane oversteer issues in qualifying in the race, so he's just taking it easy at the moment and not hitting the throttle too hard.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with that, but Siri just set the fastest lap on his Grand Prix and has gained a second that lap. absolutely incredible. So he's going to I think he's going to do all right this race if he keeps it up. The wet conditions are made for him, in my opinion. But anyway, Atlantis is losing out ever so slightly, but that's the only battle we're seeing on track at the moment.
Yeah, he's actually getting a lot more, much closer. As he can in the
in this section.
Braking. I think he might have made a few modifications to his setup in the restart, but that's allowed. That just probably gives us opportunities for a few more finishes. So I'm not sure any action will be taken on that. He's not having as much problems as he was the last race. He's keeping with ADOS Gamer, even in dirty air. So good driving from him so far.
Yes, well done to him for that as well. And I think Zillion is trying to see if he could defend on Fusion. Fusion, I think, also benefited from the restart as well, because he retired on the first lap in take one of this race. So he's still in. It is all looking good for him. He is definitely staying more out of trouble this time. So yeah, definitely a lot more cautious, I think, than the first race. So I think the restart was definitely worth it. We can actually see some more racing and keep it as much as possible, as Atlantis is still trying to catch up to ADOS. I think that's the only battle we can see.
If he keeps it together in this last corner and doesn't oversteer or understeer too much in this next section, I think he could get ADOS in this straight because of how long it is. Doesn't matter if you have DRS or not, the slipstream is enough.
Yeah, I think he is. No, DRS is disabled, don't forget, in the way.
Yeah, I said DRS, even if you don't have DRS, slipstream will still be enough. So maybe take a dive down the inside. He's a bit too far back. Maybe we'll be able to get a move done on the back straight. It's a bit harder, road's a bit narrower, straight's a bit shorter, but it still can definitely be done.
Yeah, well, I think so as well. There are certain places where it is quite hard to overtake, but some people are proving that it is.
As he pulls right in front of ADOS Gamer, almost brake checks him. Lucky to not take off his front wing, but he made the move stick. It was legal, but I wouldn't have risked coming back across on him so quickly like that.
Thank God he didn't do a Hamilton or a Vettel, because that would have been too aggressive otherwise. But
yeah.
But I think I'm noticing
Fusion struggling a lot at the moment, as I see. He's just been overtaken by SRL Rampage. He's just not able to take any speed through the corners. He's just understeering far too much at the moment.
They have got to keep it steady, in my opinion, just to be sure. But I am aware that these drivers, I think their main goal, especially on the bottom of the field now, is to survive. Really, if they didn't survive the first time round, they got to make sure they survive it the second time round. But it seems to be like that they're doing that at the moment, which is good.
I think Easy Fusion may have had a bit of front wing damage. That's why he came in and actually came out behind Zillion that one time. But at the moment, I think that repair job isn't doing all that well for him, as he's not getting anything out of that Williams at the moment. Nowhere near as much as his teammate is, who just set the fastest lap of the race.
He has got a little bit, but steerage, 9.3 seconds. That is decent pace. Very impressed with how he is doing. He's, I think Baku's one of his favourite tracks by the sounds of it, due to this domination, because he hasn't bottled it yet. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, and I think you guys are in the chat as well, keeping your fingers crossed that these guys are not bottling it. Looks like they're not. I think
I'm just looking at his driving style right now. He's keeping it cool. He's not going too fast. He has high risk of binning it. But he's not going too slow either as a result of AJH. I think he's just keeping an eye on that gap and trying to increase it ever so slightly every lap. He's gaining about 7/10 on him this lap. There's yellows in sector 2, and it is actually AJH who just binned it at the castle section and lost his whole front wing. And he holds up ADOS Gamer, who almost goes into the back of him at the same time.
You've got to be careful. The Force India's right behind him. Oh, they're side by side going into that straight. Oh, very careful, especially with front wing damage. But Ados does easy work out of that Force India, that Sauber driver, and is up into P3 at the moment. How did Steerage gain 5 seconds in one lap? How?
I think it was because AJH was in second, wasn't he?
Ah,
and
right,
Atlantis
I see.
again was again another 5 seconds behind him, so I think that's where that huge gap has just come from. I mean, if APS Steerage gets damaged now, he's still got acres of space before he gets overtaken by anyone.
Yeah, to be honest, I am a bit curious to see what happens here. And, AJH has gone into the pits, so luckily he didn't bin it, so that is all good. It's raining quite heavily now, I'm noticing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the heavy rain has started coming down. And since there's only 11 cars on the track, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a dive to the wet tyres in a few laps.
So maybe it is they have said it light, wet, light, heavy, light. I don't know. Or it may be just our end, our visual end. But
I think, judging by how Steerage was driving a couple of laps ago and how he's driving now, it's not as fast as he was. I think AJH might have just made another mistake. He has. He did what R. Frank did when he came out the pits and has just gone straight on. And that's put him down from, I think it was 6th down to 8th after his pit stop. So we've got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to get back up behind Steerage again. I think going through the field as well, Dun Thunder recently made a mistake because WR Dark Phoenix is now actually looking to make a move on him just before the castle section. And as we've seen some of the driving techniques from Phoenix, he's a bit of a Daniel Ricciardo, likes to go for the late moves.
oh, Zillion got time
Zillion average
penalty.
now gets a 5-second stop go. I've noticed that recently. They may be, even though the corner cutting penalties were already really harsh, they've made them even harsher. So instead of a 3-second time penalty now, most of the time, what you get is a 5-second stop go. So when you go into the pits, you're stationary for 5 seconds before they're allowed to work on your car, as WR Phoenix actually now makes that move on Dun Thunder.
No, he
and
doesn't.
goes wide himself, and I think he might gift that position right back to Dun Thunder.
Maybe. As we got a yellow. Oh, we see a
Dun Thunder gets
Sauber.
more as well.
Is that AJH
And
again?
Phoenix.
Or is it Frank? I don't know. I can't tell who it is. To be honest. I can't.
Dun Thunder and WR Phoenix still going side by side into turn 1, and WR hangs it around the outside of the Renault. The Renault not having as much grip as Dark Phoenix at the moment. I think he might have overheated his tyres just a bit too much. Trying to get on the power too early, trying to steer a turn in too hard, things like that. But that was probably the best battle of the race so far, and probably the cleanest, if we're honest.
Yeah, it's definitely the cleanest. There are two very clean drivers, except Dark Phoenix and going a bit wide there. And Dun Thunder's all up into 5th. Steerage is definitely running his own race at the moment. That's why we're not going to follow him as much this race. But yeah, not much battles going on at the moment, unfortunately. But Frank...
No, as AJH, I think a lot of people are actually going to start studying AJH, see how fast he goes, because he's the first to dive onto the wet tyres, and already I'm seeing that braking difference between him and Libra Affinity. And I'll just say that it is a good 50 metres difference advantage that he's got as R Frank now. Being at the back of the field, he's got nothing to lose. He's going straight onto those wet tyres as soon as he's been recommended to. I wouldn't be surprised also if loads of others start to dive into the pits, as APS Steerage now comes up to lap his first car of the day, but he's having a bit of trouble doing that, as R Frank is actually, I think, on the quicker tyres at the moment.
Let me just check what tyres they fitted. Wet! AJH and R Frank gone into a set of full wets. That is interesting.
Yeah, look, AJH has also put on wets. Loads of other drivers are going to start studying him at the moment to see who does what in terms of tyres, and Zillion Average has got a huge bit of front wing damage. Not sure where he made that mistake. No yellow flags came up, so I'm not sure what's going on there. He's going to go into the pits now on this lap, obviously, but now it's a question of will he put wet tyres or will he put Inter tyres on? If it was up to me, I'd put wet tyres on, because that heavy rain isn't going to get lighter for around another 15 laps, I don't think.
It is getting very heavy at the moment, as it won't tell us yet.
Yeah, there's
until
our
they
wet
go
tyres
out.
waiting for him.
Oh yeah, because it's stop
Gun
go.
Thunder pits at the same time, puts
Wet.
wet tyres on. We can see a huge threshold for tyre changing now. As if I was APS steerage now as well, I'd pit. Just so I keep.
He will be
the
third
Inter's
at
cool.
least.
Yeah.
So he won't lose much positions doing that. So he's got to make the call at some point, because otherwise he's already struggling a little bit. He's losing a bit of time, but he's still gaining the pace, which is good. Is he going to stay out? Yes, he is. How? He is.
Well, he's not actually losing all that time to Atlanta at the moment, but he is also on the intermediate tyres. I'm not sure he notices how much quicker those wet tyres are at the moment, because AJH actually has a bit of a pace on right now. He's actually driving fairly quick in these conditions. I wouldn't be surprised if AJH actually makes up quite a few
Lance is in the pits. So he's probably going on for a set of wets as well. And is Ados going? Yep, Ados is going to the pits as well. What about Dark Phoenix and Rampage? We'll see what they do in a second as well.
Atlantis or not Atlantis, APS steerage will probably react to Atlantis making that pit stop.
And
I won't be surprised
Dark Phoenix is
if he comes in this lap as well.
And I think Rampage could possibly pit as well. So
Dark Phoenix, Rampage, yeah, everyone's coming in now. The only people that haven't come in for wet tyres are the two Williams.
And the race leader. That is important.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter for the race leader, because he's still got a comfortable gap for him to pit, and then he'll still be in the lead. So he's got a 33-second gap. That is just like dominance and a half.
Yeah,
I got to say.
it's just a question of he was 16 seconds in front of Atlantis before Atlantis pitted. So it's just a question of what is the gap going to be like when APS steerage comes back out, because that'll tell us. As Atlantis now goes straight on, that's not going to help his case at all.
No, he is struggling a little bit. It's not going to help him going to the
7 seconds
castle.
with that mistake.
No, it's not going to help him go to the castle, but he managed it fine, thank goodness.
He made a mistake at the right-hander just before the castle. That braking zone is quite tricky, as no matter, even if it's dry, even if it's sunny to cloudy, the braking zone can change in that corner, I've noticed. And APS steerage actually pits now, so it's a question of how many seconds ahead will he be of everyone else?
Probably still quite a lot, by about 10 seconds, I think. 15, but we shall see.
5 seconds stop go there, but I think it was just a graphical glitch.
Yeah, probably. But I think let's just follow Atlantis. Then, oh, we see another Williams just bottle it. I think that was Easy Fusion, who's still on the set of intermediates. But we're following Atlantis anyway. See if he comes across the final corner. Nope, Steery just come out in front of him. Oh, and Zillion's out!
He bins it at the same corner.
And
Zillion binned it at the same corner that Atlantis went straight on. I think there might be a huge bit of aquaplaning now at that corner. I think that's what is making people bin it there.
There's a lot of puddles.
All of the finishers now, if they do finish, will get points. So it's completely worth going to the end, no matter what position you're in.
So that's
a lot of people being careful now.
Why is Easy Fusion not pitting? I really, to be honest, I don't know, because he is struggling quite a bit in these conditions. There are a lot of puddles I'm seeing going through this as well. So what is he thinking right now? I don't know. But we shall see.
That was a huge bit of oversteer. I'm not sure if you just saw that. But if that isn't a hint to pit for wets, I don't know what is. Yellow at sector 1. What is that for?
I don't...
AJH going straight on again. That pace he had earlier has completely gone out the window.
White
I
out.
think he just overheated his tyres. That is the second time he's gone wide at that corner and just gone straight on.
Yes, he's just got to be careful as much as he can, but maybe he hasn't driven much in the wet, so maybe he doesn't know. Because I think traction control, without having traction control in these conditions, is extremely hard, especially on those full set of wets. So we shall have to wait and see for that one. We will see when Easy Fusion pits.
As there's no battles on right now, I'll just say a few years ago, I'm not sure if anyone remembers, but the dry tyres, I think it was mid-2000s, well, all the way through the 2000s now I think about it, is yellow flag.
Oh, AJH
retires. I think on board with a Haas for the minute to try and see where that is. Hopefully it's not in the castle section, but I have a feeling it might be.
Yeah.
And he's going, yes it is. Good idea for Affinity then to go very slowly through there, as yellows at the castle section normally means pile up.
Yes, by a long mile. But how is Easy Fusion managing on that castle section still on these wet? Still alright, but he's clipping the corner ever so slightly and he's definitely going slower than he would do on the wet. So, hint hint, Fusion, he needs to pit. Or is he waiting until it gets drier?
Now laps R rank again. He gets out of the way a lot quicker this time. More yellows in sector 2. I think that might have just been for R rank getting out of the way, so I don't think there was an incident there. But this has been quite an exciting race so far. A couple of retirements, loads of mistakes, and it's been very wet. Very wet.
And the people in the grandstands are getting even wetter. They got their umbrellas way up, their hoods up as well. They're still managing to see the action, but I think Frank's going to do a damage limitation race, as I've already seen Fusion losing a bit of pace at the moment. But we were talking about the gap that Steerage had. Oh, no, he's got the rev glitch, God's sake. But anyway, Steerage is 22 seconds clear of Atlantis at the moment. So that pit stop and when he pitted when he did definitely helped. And he controls that intermediate stint very well. But what is Atlantis going to do to pressurise him and those around him, we shall see. But
I think what Easy Fusion is trying to do at the moment is to try and make those inters last as much as possible so he doesn't have to make another pit stop to go back onto them later on. I think what he has to do at the moment, if he's going to stay on those inters, is just try and stay as much on the dry line as possible, because that's where all the grip is going to be. Off the dry line, he's just going to get aquaplaning everywhere, and he's most likely just going to go straight on.
yeah,
So if I was Fusion right now, I would tiptoe around this circuit very, very carefully, as he now actually comes up to be lapped by his teammate.
Yes, and oh, I see Fusion weaving a little bit, and we already got, I think, someone being lapped again, which I think is Steerage again. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So he's 2 laps down, I think.
No, he just want the 1 lap.
Oh yeah, because he pitted. My bad. But anyway, so I'm sure I'm seeing that before, but probably because when he was in the pits, he probably unlapped himself. Maybe that's probably what's happened. But I think the battle we've got, emerging, at the moment is Rampage and Dun Thunder. As Dun Thunder's going a bit slow there.
Oh wow, yeah, they are really close.
They are close indeed, which may not help Rampage ever so slightly, but he's knowing when to move. He's keeping it clean, which is quite nice. And he did try and make a move there, but he realised there was not much space at all. So them two are about to go across the castle section. There's a yellow flag in sector 1.
I'm not sure what that's for.
No, I don't either.
Left
but
Affinity just had a. He's having. Oh no, it's just lag. Almost had a heart attack then.
and
he
thank God.
90 degrees sideways. As Easy Fusion finally pits for wets, but goes straight on.
And Dumb Thunder and Rampage managed to get through the castle section quite cleanly, so they're doing it very well at the moment, and we shall see how everybody else is doing. So we did see another yellow flag in. Oh, Fusion! He is.
He lost his front wing.
I don't know what's happened to him.
I'm not too sure what's up with Fusion's car right now.
I can't really see due to the camera.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see an onboard outside shot. I don't think he has.
No, he hasn't. He's fine. But
Bit difficult to tell with Williams' front wing because obviously he's blacked out. It's hard to see all the little discrepancies. But going back to the battle with Rampage and Thunder, getting a fairly similar exit. Actually, no, the Renault gets a very compromised exit and almost gifts the Red Bull the opportunity to go side by side with him, going down into turn 3, making a move as the Renault tries to hold it around the outside. It's very close to the wall.
That is close.
But concedes it as he gets a bit of oversteer. Quite a wise thing to do, that is. I think the next opportunity to overtake now is probably going to be at the start of sector 3 into the left-hander onto the main straight.
Yeah, Rampage doing well to try and overtake that. He made sure he got the move done, and another time penalty from our Frank as Leaper is deciding enough is enough. He's going to the pits at the moment. So everyone's
goes on back onto Inters.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's interesting.
And Fusion's on the set of wets.
Because the rain doesn't look like it's lightened up in the slightest.
I can't really tell. There's still puddles. People will still be aquaplaning everywhere, and they'll also still take a long time for the puddles to clear up.
Our Frank actually just goes straight on and loses his front wing, and Left of Affinity is very close behind him, but I'm not sure if he's going to make a move or not. Locks up both his fronts.
Leaper's struggling again.
Some people are struggling so much in this race.
Maybe it's too early.
I think
it's definitely too early
for
Leaper.
If this was real life right now, I wouldn't be surprised if this would have been red flag because of how wet it is. There's just so many people struggling for grip. Out of corners, into corners, locking up their fronts. Only people that have really kept it together so far completely is, well,
top two.
Probably ADOS Gamer and APS Steerage and Atlantis.
Yes.
Haven't really made any huge mistakes.
Which is good. Usually you get more confident and Frank's
out.
Frank
is now out. I don't know where that's to. It was sector 2. I have a nasty feeling I know where that is.
Castle. I bet you it's Castle.
I'm looking through the castle right now and I'm not seeing anything. I think they might have just taken his car off the track immediately to avoid anyone hitting him.
I'm surprised there wasn't a safety car.
Gone past him on track yet, so I think he might have binned it somewhere else. I think it might have been at the left-hander going downhill.
Yes, I think so. But that's
I'm not seeing any debris. I'm not seeing his car. They cleared it up a bit too quickly for us to dictate where it was.
Or it might have been he just said enough's enough. I don't know. That's allowing, I think, Fusion to catch up soon as well. He's about 24 seconds clear. I do see the Red Bull just nearly went into the wall. He went a bit wide there, but not a lot. But he is losing a bit of time between him and Dome Thunder. So Dome Thunder can close him in a bit again at some point. It is starting to die down with the rain a little bit, but still a bit of puddle. So strong advice, stay on the wets for at least a while and then put on the inters. But it is quite tricky to tell, I think, in my opinion.
Just seeing Easy Fusion, who just come onto the pits. I think he was just repairing his front wing. He comes back out on some fresh wet tyres.
Yeah,
not too sure how it's going to affect his pace, but he's only a straight away again from being lapped by his teammate for a second time.
No, I think...
Not the best of luck for Fusion tonight.
No, Dome Thunder just, I think, lapped him. But at least he hasn't retired. So at least he's doing better than he was take one. Pretty much. So...
I think APS steerage is slowly making that gap, well, not slowly, rapidly making that gap bigger. It's almost 30 seconds between P1 and P2 at the moment. I think he's improving by about a second a lap for Atlantis at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how what the lap times are like, but I have a feeling they might be in the 2 minutes at the moment.
I think so.
Yeah, now looking at the fastest times also, APS steerage's fastest lap is 1.2 seconds quicker than anyone else's fastest. So that just shows how fast he is in the wet.
Yeah, I completely forgot you can check the fastest lap on the spectator mode, but I did just check. So we shall see about that. So we've got 8 drivers still in this race. Hopefully it'll stay like this. Going into the last few main laps, I think a lot of these drivers will have a talking to due to the fact these incidents, and also not many people attending the race as well. So hopefully we can see better standards of racing as well next race as well. So keeping our eye out and keeping our fingers crossed as steerage, I think, is running like kind of like a time trial by the looks of things about the way he's going. Look at him.
I think he might have eased off in the last. Who's just caused yellows?
I don't know.
I'm looking. I can't see anyone.
Probably a glitch. I don't know.
I think it might have been ADOS.
ADOS.
He was in the caster section at the point the yellow flags came out. I'm not sure if he just went a bit wide or clipped the wall or something. I think he's fine. I'm not seeing any damage to his front wing. It's quite easy to tell with a 14, obviously, because it's bright pink. But that might have been a bit of a glitch. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think so. Because sometimes I commentate on some racing. I'm like, oh, there's a yellow flag in blah de blah, and it is actually not. It's just, you know. So
yeah,
that's what causes it, I think. Leaper is actually not doing too bad on these inters.
I think that's evidence that the track is starting to slowly dry up. It's more, he's okay on the faster bits, but on the slower bits he slides quite a bit.
The slow bits is
WRC style.
The slow bits, yeah.
I'm not sure if any battles are going to brew in the next few laps. I think that most of the battles are probably going to brew if we see a transition back to inters.
Which is looking unlikely at the moment by the looks of things, unfortunately.
I think the host might have just gone in light rain to heavy rain.
Yeah, well, I think so. Or
for the custom weather.
I don't know how you can do 3 custom weathers, but I never hosted lobbies on F1 2018, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have a bit of an experiment at some point.
I mean, I host WXL, but I've never actually fiddled with the weather because I don't think restart is very common because we have that many drivers anyway. But the wet tyres, they're not wearing at all by the looks of things, because steerage is actually doing laps that are pretty similar to what he set out with them.
So they've got to be extremely careful how to do it, to be honest. But we are starting to see people going to the pits again.
As Atlantis pits, it is light rain now. That is quite evident. I think he might be coming into inters. He is coming in for inters. This, depending on how quick the track dries, could be race changing because it has gone back to light rain. ADOS Gamer actually dives in as well. So I'm not sure if APS Steerage is going to feel the need to drive in. He's got the space to, so I'd probably recommend it to him. We could see a few lap times tumble here as well, because obviously cars have used 18 laps of fuel, so they're going to be a few kilos lighter than they were at the start. And they've got the room. No one's really battling at the moment, so we could see some new fastest laps, particularly as the track starts to dry too.
Yeah, it's definitely getting drier by the looks of things.
Wow, that rain definitely cleared up quickly. It's gone from absolutely pouring it down to just light spits. So this line is going to dry fairly quickly.
Yeah, well, I think so as well. Rampage is gonna, yeah, he's, oh.
The steerage carries on.
Rampage is on wet
and it actually
still.
paid off.
Rampage is still on wet.
I'm not sure if that was a mistake or he actually thought wets were quicker. But I'm not too sure what the tyres. Everyone seems to be thinking different things at the moment.
That's what makes it so interesting.
I think some people are just not wanting to risk it and go on the inters, and then they just have no grip whatsoever. Because obviously, even though it is still drying, going on the inters they may be quicker, they're probably slipperier at the same time because they're not up to temperature.
Yes, and I think what it's proven is steerage is still doing not too bad on these wet tyres. Let me just look at the lap times actually. 1:52.9, but the Inter's not that bad. 1:54 from Atlantis. But
right, let's go through fast laps. 1:52.9 is still the fastest lap for steerage.
Yeah.
And doesn't actually show me what tyre is on, but I'm presuming that was at the start of the race for the Inters. Because he's been going about 3-4 seconds a lap slower on these wets since he put them on. That is purely because of difference of compound, because wet tyres do have a lot thicker tread than the Inters do, so they would go a lot slower.
It does feel slower at times for some of these guys, but luckily it's alright by the looks of things. As we're going on towards lap 20.
I think steerage might be carrying on again. He is.
He's doing alright. I'm not going to say he's not struggling. I think if it's like ice, he could still go on the track and still do well. I think that's what he's doing by the looks of things. So
He's going to keep an eye on the gap between him and Atlantis, see if it closes or opens at all. Because we've got the whole field. 3 of them are on Inters, 5 of them are still on wet tyres. I think people are just experimenting at the moment. People with the Inters looking at people on the wets, people on the wets looking at people on the Inters, seeing which is faster. I think they're just waiting for the track to dry out. Eventually, though, I think everyone will be on Inters.
yeah, I think so as well. At some point. But they won't be on the Inters for very long though, because they'll still have another 6 or so laps to go.
At the end, people at the bottom of the field might just be trying to go for a last lap dash for fastest lap. Because you may as well. Bit of fun. Oh, there's a Kimi Raikkonen style save through turn 2, and there's yellow flags. And that is Easy Fusion facing the wrong way. He's ghosted, which is good, but I'm not sure if there's anyone around him. Don't think there is.
Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified. He'll have to pit again. Look at him.
I think he's fine. Hopefully he doesn't get in anyone's way. I don't think he will do. There's actually now Eidos Gamer getting very close to WR Dark Phoenix.
That is going to be insane pace for these guys. If they keep this up now. Let me just change it back to interval. There we go, so I can see the gaps. So, oh, and Steerage is pitting. Steerage is deciding, oh, he's going to go on a set. I don't know.
I think he is. Yes, he is.
That is going to be interesting call, I think, for the for the Williams driver. But again, he has nothing to lose.
I think this battle between Eidos Gamer and Dark Phoenix could be quite interesting because this is for the last podium position. And even though they seem to be on different compound tyres, they're quite equal in pace. And I don't think Eidos Gamer has any plans to pit again because of his inherent pace that he currently has.
He's only been
braking
on
a lot
two
later.
laps.
A lot later than Dark Phoenix. I think that's the reason Eidos Gamer is so close to Dark Phoenix, because he pitted on the previous lap. And I'm just trying to look at the gap between the two, and it is getting smaller. So those wet tyres are still slightly quicker than the intermediates are.
Yeah, they are sick.
He's not going to get a move.
Quick.
Yeah. He's not going to get a move in on this lap, but he's going to try and get the slipstream as Dark Phoenix actually tries to get as much slipstream out of the Haas as he possibly can to try and improve that gap, but doesn't. Sliding through turn one, not a huge amount of gap made between the two. Obviously, we're going to have a bit of a swap in pace between the two as the track gets drier from wet to damp in favour of Phoenix. Just a question of how much ground will Gamer lose or make. Bit of a lag spike there. Sorry about that.
I didn't get any.
In the middle sector. I just saw fireworks on my screen. I just cracked myself. But anyway.
That is strange.
But
as we're going towards...
I think... Yeah. The Inters have just... Sorry. The
Fine,
track temperatures, the track water. Sorry, I'm trying to get the words out of my mouth.
The track the best tyres to be on is the Inters at the moment. That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, yeah, that's the words. That's the sentence I was trying to put together, but couldn't. It's just flipped in favour of the Inter, as Eidos Gamer actually makes 5/10 in one sector there.
Compared
over the Force India, as the Force India is now starting to slide a lot under braking. So it's just a question of, will he pit before the end, or will he try and risk it and possibly scratch a few walls on the way to the end if he does stay on them?
Doe Thunder in the Renault is struggling. He's been on these wet tyres for 13 laps at the moment. He's got to be careful, because he doesn't want to cause that much issues. So
I think Leopard Affinity, the reason he's going so slow on those Inters is because he put them on so early, spun them so hard in those early laps when the track was still very wet. He's just overheated them to no end, and he's just got a lot of wear on them at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually comes in for another set of Inters, if he's got any.
Yeah, he's got to pit now. I'm sorry, he's got to. I was saying that about Fusion earlier, but he's pitted, I think, twice, or 3 times. But Dome Thunder has got a pit. But he's staying out. That's interesting.
That was very close from Affinity. Actually, I was actually spectating him then as he had a double lock-up going to turn 1. That's the last thing you want to see on your 5th to last lap.
Yeah, you just don't want to bottle it going towards the end of the race, because you work so hard and then you just go, that's it. And that's a bit worrying.
I think binning it, as I think a lot of league races have experienced, the worst feeling is binning it from a points paying position on like the last quarter of the race. It's just the worst feeling, particularly if it's just completely your fault and you've lost concentration or something. But yeah, hopefully none of the drivers do that. Hate to see it, as it's just the worst feeling.
Some of these guys
Atlantis
do lose
actually
concentration.
sets. Yeah, the Atlantis actually sets the fastest lap, showing that the Inters are quicker, and that it actually takes quite a while to get them up to temperatures, because he's been on these 5 laps, and he's just set the fastest lap.
It is drying up a little bit though as well.
Yeah,
I'm noticing.
that probably helps.
So,
and people are making that dry line drier and drier and drier, so cars are obviously going to be going quicker and quicker and quicker until the last lap, where I think a lot of the fastest laps are going to be set at the same time.
Just like in qualifying, where towards the end of the race it gets more stickier. So that is why, as Ados is going to the pits, don't know why, but I think he's going on another set of clean inters.
I think it was because he was still on the wets, wasn't he?
I don't know. I think he was still on a bit of drop for an intermediates then.
Yes, he was, because he was in a battle with WR Phoenix, wasn't he? As Lamborghini hits the wall, very
Yellow
close
flag.
to taking out the Force India as well.
That was close. As I think Rampage is about to lap the Williams, or is he?
No, Steerage just lapped the Red Bull.
Oh, right. That's confusing. But hey ho, his steerage is just showing why he's the king of Baku at the moment. He is on fire. And he's on newer tyres than Atlantis, so that's why he's gaining a bit more pace on this track. But look at the gaps now.
Yeah, a lot of... Yeah.
And Atlantis just hit the
Atlantis
fast
now
lap.
sets another fastest lap with another yellow flag in sector 3. And this Fusion again, he just has no luck
No
at
grip.
this race, does he? And he's actually binned it at quite an odd section.
That is quite odd. And you lost your front wing. Oh! Nearly touched the Ferrari.
Could have been.
Oh, that was close. I was going to say another
Code
word
brown
there.
for Dark Phoenix, I think, at the moment.
Code red.
That was close.
Pit, here he goes. But the other Williams seems to be doing quite well. So opposite reactions in the garage at the moment. One Williams doing very well in the lead. One Williams not doing so well in last. So
Almost 2 laps down.
yeah, that as well. I got to say that.
Actually, no, hang on. Let me check the gap. Actually, no, almost 3 laps down.
Oh, that is quite a lot. Yeah, he will be 3 laps down.
See how many mistakes Easy Fusion has made just because of the fact he's almost 3 laps down. I think that may have just been because of lack of practice. Because in China, he was actually one of the fastest people on track until he had that first lap issue. His Affinity now also goes into the wall.
And so Fusion.
Turn 2.
Fusion and
Wisely
Leper.
doesn't get in the way of APS steerage or Dun Thunder, as Easy Fusion has actually spun as well. I'm not sure if there's massive aquaplaning down at that corner.
Must be.
But there seems to be a few problems for people.
So, yeah, it does seem to be like a lot of issues going towards the final few laps.
As Rampage goes straight on as well. I think the track is getting a bit too dry for people at the moment. People just going straight on.
Rampage is still on the wets. Just saying. That is why he's struggling.
So's Dun Thunder.
Yeah, that's why they've realised that it's not the best tyres to be on. I got to admit.
Yeah, I think the question they were both asking themselves was, will I lose more time pitting for inters, or will I lose more time just staying out on the wet? And I think...
Oh my God's sake! Rampage!
As Rampage bins it again, and I think that's a question they've both had answered quite quickly and quite harshly, as they've both been in the wall within a couple of laps.
Yeah, they should have put it to the inters, but they never did. So, starting to get a bit worrying for these. Because Rampage and Dun Thunder is a lap down.
Come on. Yeah.
Steerage.
Four drivers that haven't been lapped yet. So it just shows this was a bit of a race of attrition and a race of spinning, as it turns out.
I think there was a lot of questions about a restart that shouldn't have happened, but to be honest, this will be
I
investigated.
don't think that affected the results too much.
It will be investigated still, though, I think, due to the fact that it wasn't that serious to do a restart. But on the last lap, Fusion 3-second time penalty, but that probably won't matter because he's last anyway.
Yeah,
But,
as F1 rules go, this will be the last lap when the leader goes over the line. No matter what lap you're on, this is the last lap for everyone.
Yep. Because otherwise it will go on and on and on. Oh, there's a yellow flag in sector 1. I don't...
Easy Fusion, I think he's given up.
Yep, he is out. He's just staying where he is.
He's just parked it.
He's
not going to cause any action because all the drivers are already past him in their lap.
Disqualified.
And he's been disqualified.
What a shame.
Actually, no, will that make him lose his points?
Yes, that would.
That will make him lose his points. That was a bit of a mistake from Easy Fusion, as he's now been moved down to 12th. Because a disqualification actually overrules he did not finish.
Yeah, if you get disqualified, yeah, that disqualified is worse than getting DNF. So, yes. Oh, it disconnected. His controller disconnected. And Leaper's gone as well.
On the last lap, that's... I was hoping no one was going to do that. And as it turns out,
Steerage has won.
Steerage wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
And it's got the fastest lap. But can Atlantis get the fastest lap? He could still get the fastest lap. Or will Steerage get the hat trick? Oh no, the quadruple.
I don't think he's going to. He's 1.9 down by the end of Sector 2, so it's not going to go to Atlantis, I don't think. I'm wondering if he's going to go to Phoenix, because I'm going to see his delta at the end of Sector 2 and see what it is like.
He's about 69 hundredths faster. So it could happen. But Steerage is on course to get pole, won the race, led every lap. And I think the only person that can challenge the fastest lap is Dark Phoenix. So if Dark Phoenix doesn't get this...
It didn't actually show me the delta then, so I have no idea what his lap's going to be like. We had to come out the throttle loads there, so I have a feeling it's not going to go to him. Eidos a gamer, looking at him now, he's actually really got a pace on, braking almost at dry areas.
Can he do it?
I have a feeling, on these fresh tyres, Eidos Gamer might be in with a shout as Dun Thunder retires, but he was finished anyway.
So he's still classified, thank goodness. I think it looks like Steerage could get the quadrupleness. The quadrupleness, what did I say?
Eidos Gamer actually only 34 100ths down, 34 thousandths down, sorry, on APS Steerage time. So this fastest lap could go to Eidos Gamer and that was a very quick sector 3 from what I saw of it.
Can
so
he do it?
Go to Eidos. I don't think he did.
So otherwise it would have popped up on
I
our
don't
screen.
think he did.
I don't know. I can't really tell. We shall have to wait and see. I think due to the issues I think we've had, we're not going to have any interviews today, I don't think. I think they just... These guys...
I think everyone just wants to go do their own thing now after that race.
Yeah, I think the only person who's happy with his performance is Steerage. It was... Basically, the restart didn't affect him at all. Even though he thought it was going to affect him, but it didn't. So... The Williams guys are celebrating. Shame it's not like this in real life, but maybe it might be like this in 2019, but you never know. Depending on who they choose as second driver in real life. But let's look at the standings in a second. See who gets fastest lap. Oh, he's... Oh! 9/10 slower than Steerage. So he hasn't done it.
Oh wow, he did make a mistake then in the third sector that I didn't see, obviously.
Atlantis scored 151.6. So yeah, here's your standings, everybody. This reminds me of Australia, where only 5 people finished. We done better than Australia, I've got to say, but still not the best with how many finishes we've got. So hopefully we can get some good quality racing in Spain. We're keeping our fingers crossed. And thanks for watching, and thanks for the ones who stuck in there. Any last words?
Should we do a 3 race rundown, word race rundown real quick?
Word, as in?
Yeah,
So,
3-word race rundown.
Okay.
WTF1 style.
Okay. As in carnage. I don't know. Carnage,
wet.
bottle, and more bottle.
Carnage attrition.
Yeah, carnage, bottle, and more bottle. That's 4 words, but still.
We'll just go with it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. See you next week in Spain. Hopefully more people can turn up as well. Fingers crossed. And good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.